Welcome, and thank you for joining us for another beautifully blessed, peaceful, prosperous, productive, and phenomenally powerful night. We are your hosts, Tori the Barber, the one and only, the only one under the sun, and the man with a plan, the man, the myth, the legend, Free Will Code.
What's up? Thank you, and welcome to another edition of the Free Will Podcast, where we create an environment for people like you and me, so we could be the best versions of ourselves.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today, man?
I'm in the building. I'm live and I'm improv, man. If I was doing any better,
yes,
I think my name was Ja'Cory Hunter. I didn't put the whole government name out there. I hope it's cool. I ain't got nobody looking for you.
Man.
I hope you ain't got nobody looking for you. Man. What's going on with your boss?
Man, that Chick-fil-A lemonade is something else.
Yeah, I bet.
Chick-fil-A lemonade is something else.
I bet.
Hey, man, but man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing as good as I will be doing. Man, we in the building for another one, like clockwork.
Like clockwork.
They thought we was gonna fail, but we will prevail.
Yeah, dude. Man,
what's the
word, man? How you feeling
today, man?
Oh, my day?
Yeah.
Oh, man, my day. How was my day today? My day was cool. I'm actually in the middle of a 21-day mind, body, and spirit commitment to myself, and it's so far all right. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have like a outline of how I want to do it, and I haven't been hitting every single point of my outline. Like I'm supposed to be doing like a fast inside of it, dietary. I haven't been hitting everything, but it's cool. I've been vlogging it every morning via video vlog, and I've been very transparent about that. But nonetheless, woke up this morning, had a couple of little body aches. I don't really know what that's about. But outside of my day was pretty cool. My lady birthday today. Hold on, let me make some noise. Let me make some. I should have had the song on, huh?
Yeah.
All right, cool. No copyrights, but we gonna make. I definitely should have had the song pulled on, man. But man, it's my lady's birthday, so extra special shout out and happy birthday to her. You dig? And I hope you enjoyed your birthday today. She got a whole ton of love. She got love coming from everywhere. But it was amazing to witness that. It was dope. So in a nutshell, man, my day was a blessed day nonetheless. I was able to share with her and be a part of her special day. And yeah, man, that's me. How your day was, Cole?
Man, my day was nothing really different about my day than like most Monday. I got to work. You know what I'm saying? I woke up this morning. I got to work. I made it happen. Just today was a small win for a big win. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, I'm feeling pretty good. If anything, man, once I get to the podcast, once he hit that Free Will Code, and everything changed after that. It don't matter what's going on. After he hit that Free Will Code, I'm the man after that. It's time to go, huh? Yeah, man. But listen, guys. I want y'all to listen, like really, and I want y'all to give a moment of silence right now.
Yes.
Moment of silence for our brand new subscribers.
Yes. Welcome.
Brand new subscribers,
aka
our
brand
likers,
new family members. Huh? Yes, indeed.
And the ones that give post notifications.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you in advance.
Yeah, we
Thank
appreciate
you in advance.
That. Yes,
as we are on this journey, we'd like you to be on it with us.
For sure.
Yes, sir. So without further ado, let's drop that gratitude, huh? I thought I forgot, huh? I did. Listen, I'm grateful. Listen, life is. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be kind of transparent, right? This is a time in my life where I need to be grateful the most, right? I'm going through tests right now that only a soldier could come out of, but I'm getting the test because I'm a soldier, right? So I just need to be grateful for that. I need to be grateful for the things that I have, and not complain about the things that I do not have.
For sure.
Grateful for the things that's possible and not the things that's not possible. You know what I'm saying? Or probable. You know. And so, with that, man, I'm grateful for the progress that I made in life. I'm grateful for my immediate circle, for my man's tour, for my family. I'm grateful for my lady. Beyond grateful for her, man. She holding it down.
Yep.
You know, she holding it down, man. And I can't wait to be able to talk to her and shit again. You know, so I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful, man, to be consistent, man. The consistency through the storm, that's a win. That's a win-win. Like, that's a major win. No matter what's going on, the show is still going up. The show is still going on, and the show is still going up.
Absolutely.
So that's a strength that I have, and I'm grateful for that.
Yes,
I'm gonna carry that, nah? What about you, man? What you grateful for?
Oh, man. Man. I am most thankful for the Most High. Yes, sir. Yes, Lord. Thank God. I'm thankful for the Most High. This is it's miraculous to be able to do what we do. I'm thankful for my new awareness of what it means to be mindful, and
yeah, for sure, bro.
And taking advantage of every moment and existing in every moment, and also too. Not to ever put on the back burner, but I'm grateful for my lady, man. I'm grateful for her. Make some noise. You know, it's almost routine now. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make that noise for her, you know. I'm grateful for my lady and you know, just being very, very supportive. You know, even at times when I don't necessarily feel like I'm worthy of being supported. She's in my corner and she's there. And she make everything all right as best as she can, and she does it without a sweat. So I'm thankful for her. And then the support system, and not just my support system. I think maybe last week I might have forgot, but if I did this week, I ain't gonna forget. I gotta shout out my clients, each and every single one of y'all, man, because I come on here as Tori the Barber. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna rock with y'all. Y'all gonna rock with me, and we gonna do this thing together. But yeah, that's Tori the Ball with a big one, not the little one, you heard?
Not the little one.
I'm getting ghetto on here, but it's all good. So you heard me, and man, that's what I'm most thankful for. It's the same thing with me, man. I'm just thankful for the growth. Excuse me, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for the experiences, and just life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. That's it, man. That's it. That's enough to keep the wheels spinning and just keep on moving forward and keep on trucking. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, let's expound on that.
Yeah.
That is enough to keep the wheels moving. Not nothing else. Like, I feel like sometimes like we look for more, and we get greedy, or maybe we don't even recognize it as something that keeps the wheels spinning. You know. Like, yeah, that's cool. I got food in the refrigerator, but like, I want steak in the refrigerator. Like, okay, cool. You want steak? That is a goal, but that is not you putting that on the same level as a survival thing. Like, man, life is bad because I don't have steak. No, life is not the best that it can be, but life is good. Life is good. You got food in the refrigerator. You good.
That's a fact, Jack.
You got stuff to be happy about. You're good. Yes, keep striving, but make sure you're staying good. Like, you
100%.
That mindful thing, man, that's something we have to talk about at some point, man, as we practice it. But that was a big thing. Like, I made, like, a matter of fact, after we had that conversation, I washed the dishes when I got home. When I got home yesterday, I washed the dishes, and I'm like flying through it, and I stop, and I'm like, okay, let me wash the dishes to wash the dishes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not wash the dishes just to clean them, just to get them out the way.
What kind of impact that made for you?
It was hard, man. It wasn't, it definitely was, because at the moment I had some emotions going on, so it was hard for me to do that. But it was practice. I will say that. Okay. It was practice. I had some time of resistance to the flesh, which is always good. So I will be grateful for that. But it was definitely a challenge, right?
For sure.
Yeah, man, that was big. Well,
Yes,
Without
sir.
further ado, huh? Let's drop that.
Word on the street. Word on the street. Word on the street.
Ezra Freck, and a 19-year-old amputee from Los Angeles, planned to run the 100 meters as a warm-up for the high jump. Instead, he won one of the closest races of the games. Ezra Freck lined up for his 100-meter final at the Paris Paralympics on Monday, knowing precisely what he was there for. This race, he figured, was a warm-up. His real event, the one where he holds the world record for single-leg amputees above the knee, is the high jump. And that final was still 24 hours away. Excuse me if I mispronounce his name. But man, that's amazing. Right?
Yeah.
What you think about that, too?
Man, I think you said it earlier. You know, ain't no such thing as an excuse, man. All it is what you want, and you find a way to go get it. I think that's what it come down to me. When it come down, when I hear that, that's my thoughts on it. What about you?
Yeah, man. Like I always think that, man, when it comes to people who may not have certain necessities that I have, like they may not have their legs or whatever. And there was a point in time where I legit thought this, right? I'm like, man, those people are unfortunate, and it's crazy. I feel sorry for them. And the truth is, those people are probably feeling sorry for me.
Yeah.
Because the amount of gratefulness and grit and passion that those people have it's like I don't even know what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
And so that is always an inspiration. Second thing that comes to mind is when you do something, how you do anything is how you do everything. That dude went to the 100 meters, right? He like, I'm gonna go do this just to practice. But in the practice, he gives his all. And he gave his all and won it. Like, I'm going to do this as a warm-up and came out on top. A hard race.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, do it at the best of your ability, even if it's practice. If you practicing, like there's always going to be a disconnect if you practicing like practice. You should be practicing like it's game time.
Yep.
Because it's going to be game time. You rather practice like it's game time before you get to game time, because when it get to game time, you're going to have to translate. You're going to have to translate practice to game time. Just game time all the time. Game time all the time, and you're going to be good, right? And so that's something that definitely stuck out to me. Like, you know, that guy's a winner. Like, he has winning in his natural routine. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's his mainframe.
Like, that's his mainframe, right?
Yeah.
E.T. said, I don't know how to explain it. Like, but winners win and losers lose. I don't know how to explain it any better than that.
Yeah.
Like, winners win and losers lose. Either you let winning happen to you, either you let losing happen to you, or you make winning happen to you. And some people are just built different, man. Like,
I think if I can, I think that when it come down to the young man who achieved those wonderful accolades, even with everything that he got going on, he didn't let that define him. I think with that he changed the natural order of his life. Like, he didn't let his disability be a disability. He made it an advantage. Somehow he converted it. You know what I'm saying? He was and I like what you say, that he probably feeling sorry for us. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that man don't need our pity, clearly.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he making things shake. He winning medals. He doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yet we over here healthy, got both our legs. You know,
2 legs,
2 feet,
buku toes and everything.
You about to say buku feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got our hands, everything, and we be it's like, what? We having a bad day? What? Like Somebody pissed you off at work. What? Like somebody didn't show up for an appointment? What? Like you missed a bus? You walked to the bus stop with both of your birth legs. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like it can always be worse, and that's something that I take with me when whenever it's a situation and something happened. I always think like, okay, it could have been worse. Like it's cool. It is what it is. And I also think how it could have been worse. In that way, for me, I'm able to just be cool. But say that to say, this young man, he made the most of his situation, and he controlled what he could control. And ultimately, that is what we're talking about today. That's what the conversation is actually shaped around today: to control or not to control. And like that's literally how you do it. You could literally let life happen to you and just be a victim, be a product of what happens to you. Or you can literally take those situations, take those circumstances, and you can craft it and make art with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, cool, man. But to segue, man, like when you hear the word control, what does that mean to you? How does that resonate with you personally? Like we're not even talking about the book definition of control, but when Cole hear control, what does control mean to Cole?
Control to me means like I got my hands on that thing, like
pause.
That's not a pause, man. I got my hands on it.
You say I got my hands on that thing. That in itself
not
is
a pause, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a good thing. I got my hands. Anyways, I'm sorry. So control to me means like I have the like I have manipulation in like I can manipulate it, right? Like I it's under my supervision. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing ain't going. If I got something to say about it, it ain't gonna go a certain way. You know what I'm saying? That's in its essence, that's kind of what it means to me. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I would say it's similar. For me, if I could say anything about it, like I told you, like not on my watch. You know what I'm saying? If it's within my line of sight, if it's within my peripheral, my hearing, and I'm aware of what's going on, and if I could do something about it, like it's like control is like I'm always to my knowledge, I'm always do what I think is best for the situation at hand in that moment. It's taking control. It's just taking over. You know what I'm saying? Like taking the steering wheel. I don't know if you ever taught somebody how to drive, but if you ever taught somebody how to drive and they driving and they ain't turning that wheel enough, sometimes you gotta grab that wheel and turn that thing a little bit. Like, hold on, champion, you're going outside the lane. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like a visual of control. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about that is, why do you think us as human beings take control? Like, why do you think we seek so much control?
Yeah, man.
Or maybe even you personally, if it hit better.
Yeah, I guess because I was about to go like a general definition of it, but definitely me. I could take control over anything that I personally feel is not going on in going to a place that I desire it to go. Like at the moment I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't like how that's looking, and it's going to affect. To be honest, selfishly, I'm like, it's going to affect me at some point. Like it's going to affect me or affect something that I care about. I'm not going, because I'm gonna keep it G with you. Like the only time that I'm really in a space to where I am even influencing my environment is when I feel good. But and what I mean by that is like, let's say I'm around my brother, my sister, and my mom, everybody, whoever I'm around, and I'm feeling good, all of them gonna get the juice. Now at times when I'm not feeling good, you'll really only get the juice, and if I'm like, oh, that's something that can be damaging. You know what I'm saying? And then in that moment, I will grasp control. So I feel like it's just the me of the subconscious mind. It's like anything I feel like is going to be detrimental, I gotta step in on that thing.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? If I can make it go the way that I desire it to go, I'm gonna step in. So I think and that might be like, you can really say that for most humans. I believe. Anybody who, like, if I want the red one and I can make it red, I'm gonna make it red. I'm gonna make that decision in the general standing of things.
Yeah, like if you have the final say so on something, like you're gonna do it within the best interest of not even the best interest of just you, but you have a personal preference, so you're gonna make it cater to your personal preference. I feel that.
Right.
So I want to give you this idea. I want to share this idea of, as humans, we try to control things outside of us because we don't have control of ourselves. What do you think about that?
We try to control other things because we don't have control of ourselves.
Because ultimately, and I say that because ultimately, all you really can control is you, right? You can only control you. Now, when you call yourself trying to control other people or a subordinate, whether it be an employee or your sibling or your kid, is really not. You are. I don't want to say you're like kind of like undermining their will. You know what I'm saying? Like basically, like in order to control somebody, they have to make the decision or agree with whatever it is that you are trying to impress upon them. They just have to agree with it and take that and move accordingly.
And even with that, bro, I don't feel like that's control. That's an influence, because they actually agree. I think a control is like a full control over somebody else is they don't have any say so in it kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just what my current definition. It's like if I'm controlling somebody, I know something that they don't know that's manipulating their way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Basically, strictly talking about people, because we're talking about controlling other people now. Like how can but I wanna answer your question first. Like ask me a question again. When you first.
Well, when I first asked you was, I said, what do you think about this? I said we try to control things outside of ourselves because we don't have control of ourselves.
Right. I think the average person don't know that they're doing that. Like, I think the average person is controlling what they believe that they can control. I don't think most people are like, yo, I cannot eat this if I don't want to eat it because I don't need to be eating it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people know that, but I think people know that. I think they just feel like I'm going to get this piece of pizza because I know it's going to make me feel good kind of thing. Like, I feel like people just... So I think the first thing is first, you gotta actually be introduced to that concept, because controlling me is not even controlling my thoughts and not even trying to go nowhere else in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like even the concept of it, right? Because like after I was introduced to that concept, I felt uncomfortable. Like it's man, I'm trying to do this over here, and where I'm at not even straight. You know what I'm saying? So. I'm gonna just add that input. I'm gonna add the input of like, what you think about that? People not even knowing that you are controlling others, and you not even controlling yourself because you don't even see that that's a possible thing, and you not even believing that you can do it, right?
I think it run alongside what I asked you. I don't know if you really answered it. I think you responded to what I asked you, but you didn't really answer it. But you told me what you think. But so like people try to people try to control others because they don't have control of themselves. So what that does, when I heard that, it put me in a place of, first of all, I had to self-reflect. Right? I had to self-reflect, and for me, I had to, kind of like put myself back in situations where I've been controlling or called out on it, or different things like that, or even why do I desire to control something or somebody else in the first place, right? And it's because whatever that's going on around me or whatever they doing is making me uncomfortable for some reason, to some degree. So because I'm uncomfortable, instead of accepting whatever that person's personal choice, that person's personal free will, their decision is, I'm like, nah, don't do that, because I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like what I'm hearing. Right. So prime example, I have done this. So my lady told me that she wanted to do the 21-day mind, body, and spirit commitment alongside me. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't necessarily say I've been being controlling, but I will put it like I've been holding her accountable. And I've been guilt tripping her. Mm-hmm. I call that holding her accountable. Like I ain't saying like, man, put your phone up. You said you wasn't gonna be on it. I'd be like, you on such and such again. You just say you wasn't gonna be on that. Didn't you say you was putting that down, or you wasn't gonna? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of throw it in her face, but so she can deal with what she said. I'm just giving her back what she told me she was gonna do, and I'm holding her accountable. That might be controlling. It might be manipulative. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But I don't try to like force her hand on nothing. I just be like, look, you said you was gonna do this and you're not doing it. I'm just gonna leave this right here and let you do what you do with it. You wanted to say something cool?
Yeah. I think that there's a whole lot of aspects that go into this thing. I think that the desire to manipulate, because this is what it, because I didn't really understand the question at first, or I didn't really like resonate with it at first, but I think a better thing is like, why do you desire to manipulate outside or your environment rather than manipulating yourself? Like I need to manipulate the environment so I can feel comfortable rather than manipulating me so I can feel comfortable. And right. So the thing becomes, like, let's say she not doing her thing. If you start to feel uncomfortable, I think that becomes the issue. Like, oh man, you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing. You messing me up, kind of thing. Like how we'll do sometimes. Like, man, like they in my like atmosphere and they ain't doing it. They messing me up. No, they're not.
They're not messing.
They ain't up. Messing you up. You messing you up because you focused. Like you said you was gonna do the 21 challenge. Like. You ain't say we gonna do the 21-day challenge. You said you was, and if you said we gonna do the 21-day challenge, you can't even say that because you don't even have control over the other person.
Thanks.
Like you literally can't say we gonna do this. You could say we desire to do this. You could say that, right? But you could say I'm gonna do this thing, and if you do it, then that's great. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think because I don't see nothing wrong with you being like, hey. You on that phone, you say you want to go be on the phone now, I'm just, I'm giving you a little bump or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man,
I think that's the distinguishing part about it is just, something that you just said. You said, like I want to manipulate you or my environment so that I could feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. Instead of manipulating myself so I feel comfortable. So in other words, I'm trying to change the environment around me so that I can stay the same. Because maybe I need to change. Maybe I need to grow or develop into something else. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to make you change to me so I can stay comfortable. I can stay in my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, and that's crazy, man. Like you get outside your comfort zone, so I get in mine.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Man, that's some selfish stuff, bro.
Yeah, man.
Wow, it's crazy when you think and talk about it, man.
So do you think there's a difference between healthy control and unhealthy control?
Yeah, controlling you
Yeah.
is healthy. Things you can control is the thing that you perceive, your actions, your reactions. That comes down to be the only healthy control that I'm seeing at the moment. And you know, cause I also used to think that, like I used to think that if people are in your environment, then and that affects you, then that stuff needs to be controlled. But you still resort to trying to control whatever's in your environment when you have no control over that. So the best thing that you can do is move to another environment, or create your own environment where you create the doors, the locks, the keys to where only certain people are allowed in. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like we be inside of environments already trying to like I go into the office and I'm like, hey, I need this to be done. People gonna look at you stupid.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we don't do that over here, cuh. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that over here. But if it's your spot, like some people get mad. Like I be hearing CJ and ET, they be like, shout out to S2S. They be like you get mad when you get to your table and you don't got no ownership. Like you don't really got no, like you don't hold no weight at this table that you didn't even help create. You didn't help create. You just joined it and you trying to be big dog. Like either create your own table or go in there and add enough value to where you start holding weight.
Yeah.
Like go add value. Like people like we, you know, that kind of goes into the entitled thing, man. Like, but the healthy is yourself controlling what you actually have say so over.
Yeah.
Right, because that kind of extends from you. And unhealthy control is stuff that you didn't create. It has nothing to do with you. Like you didn't, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to manipulate it. That's unhealthy.
Yeah. I think that's just it though. I think the clear difference is healthy control is you in things that affect you, your behavior, reactions, different things like that. I think everything that affects you that you can control about yourself, focus on that. And the unhealthy control is other people's thoughts and actions, you know, like inevitable circumstances, different things like that, like things that's outside of you, like we said, like to try to change things so that you could feel better about yourself instead of adapting. You may just need to adapt, you know, just keep it on you, keep the focus on you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's
like
100% every time. You know what I'm saying?
What you about to say?
I was saying that's gonna be 100% every time. Like I can 100% control whether I go left or right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't control anything. Like I don't know if it's gonna rain outside. I don't know if this house gonna hold up. I don't know if this person's gonna show up. I don't know if once I give this amazing speech, if my significant other is gonna listen. All I can do is be me, and when it's time for them to listen, or when it's time for it to rain, or when it's time for, you know, the house to give out, I got the money to get another house, I got the umbrella for the rain, and there was always an example there for when she ready to listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's also a such thing as being over controlling. You know. Being over controlling, and to kind of kick that off, I heard listening to a podcast. I'm always quoting podcasts, and the lady on there was talking. No. I think it was Dr. Umar Johnson. He was on the Hardly Initiated podcast, and he was talking about women he was talking about women that are OCD. Now this can go for anybody. It's not targeting women. But in his example, it was women. He like, be mindful of a woman that's OCD, like true OCD, because those are the ones to where like you can't move nothing. They freaking out every time you do something. You walk in the house with your shoes on, take your shoes off. You use the dish. They gotta run over there and clean the dish real quick. and they just super duper hyper over controlling of the environment. And it's kind of like what I said earlier, right? And that's actually probably where I got that from, is that people like that try to control the environments because they don't have control over themselves. So they need to control everything around them. They got to control the whole environment. You know what I'm saying? And then that can even reflect into the relationship. But that's kind of like an example of over controlling. And think about people who are OCD, like true OCD. They really freak out. And like a consequence of like being over controlling, for example, is like stress and anxiety. You know what I'm saying? People who you know are truly OCD, I mean, some of them be chilling and they be calming, but soon as something out of place, they losing their minds. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just something to be mindful for, like, you know, because some people might be with controlling people. Like what do you do, Cole? What would you say if you find yourself in a situation with an over controlling person? Because we talking about this from a standpoint of like we just going through the motions of just the discussion of control, right? But like, what if you is somebody that's in a relationship with somebody that's over controlling? Like, what do you do in a situation like that?
Yeah, man. I think I got two perspectives. I have the challenge side of me that'll take something as a challenge, like how can I adapt to survive in this environment? How can I use it as growth? You know, like if I leave one spoon on the counter, she going crazy. Don't leave no spoons on the counter, kind of thing, right? And then
kind of like
maybe,
adaptability.
Yeah, like just like how can I use this environment to feed me, kind of thing. And the second one would be like, I don't know, man. I think the second one would be if I was like uncomfortable with it, like it'll also depend on the communication of the other person. If they like, hey, you know, I'm gonna put the spoon in the thing. Hey, out, you know, make sure the cover like locked up or whatever. Like, cause there's also a thing where that person's OCD-ness should not involve me, right? Like if they want
impossible.
For example, if they want they like the rug to the left, that's where they like the rug at. It's like she gonna either expect me put the rug to the left, or she gonna always put the rug to the left by herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think in that way, if she's like, she know how she wants stuff, so she gonna control her actions, right? I think the problem would come in for me is if you trying to control me based on your expectations. Like I told you, I like the rug to the left. Why you ain't putting the rug to the left, baby? I don't care about the rug.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean I don't care about. Like it could be about a front door, whatever, you know. And then, of course, there's a world where I'm like, hey, my baby like the rug to the left. Put it to the left, right? But that should be on my time. She shouldn't expect, like, that's what we talking about, whole people, right? Like, we're gonna get into that towards the end, but like when you whole, it don't matter what nobody else doing. Like, I'm going, like, if she want the rug right there, she gonna put it right there, and she gonna be happy after she do it.
Yeah.
She might be a little more happy when I do it, but she ain't expecting that because she ain't trying to control me. If you over controlling of yourself and how you want stuff to look, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good with me. You know what I'm saying? So I
keep
feel
that's
right. Keep that. Keep that. Look, you when it's time to come adjust the rug, I'll lift my feet up right quick.
Yep. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
And we back to our regular scheduled program.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's how I feel about that. What about you, bro? What's your take on it?
Oh man. So what was the question?
It was like, what if you were living with somebody who was over controlling? Like, you know what I'm saying? How would you?
I guess more or less. Like, what if you was with somebody that's over controlling? Again, over controlling someone who was in a relationship with an over controlling person. If I was that person, me personally, I like what you said about kind of like that adaptability thing. I don't think that's always the best option. I think that's a double-edged sword, to be honest, because you could be very adaptable, but then you'll just be controlled. Like every time, like just to avoid conflict, just to keep the peace. Like I know how she get, or I know how he get, you know what I'm saying? So every time they got a problem with something, I'm just making an adjustment. I'm making an adjustment to appease them. And that's what codependency form. Now I don't even know if that's where it formed, but that is an aspect of codependency. You know what I'm saying? So I think boundaries need to come into place. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like what you said, I think without even realizing you kind of spoke on boundaries, is like, keep that over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want things done a certain way, then you make sure you do them a certain way. Now, if you want the dishes clean right after we eat, do that. If I'ma clean the dishes, I'ma clean them when I get up and I get to it. That's just me. That's just how I do it. But if you got such a problem with it, just take care of it and just let peace be peace. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't hurting neither one of us for the dishes to sit in the sink. And it's not a real personal at home issue, y'all. I'm just giving an example. Like, I don't want y'all to be like, hey, homie, you want to do this? Nah, it ain't it. I'm just saying, like, that's just my thing. Is just boundaries. It's just like what you said, Cole. Like, let what you want to be done a certain way. You in charge of that. If it bothers you that much, but don't try to control me by making me do what, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't create problems, and then you have expectations for me for the stuff that bother you, within reason. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it needs to be some sort of balance, because if you were a controlling person and you just kind of like, somebody who's always adjusting for that person, that's out of balance. And then I think that in itself can cause stress and anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I think that could, put a strain on a relationship, and I think in cases like that, you have people who suffer in silence, because like I say, you may just be a non-confrontational person, you know what I'm saying? And you just kind of like going with the flow. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation, my advice would be first thing is just develop a voice and develop confidence in yourself to where you can communicate to lay your boundaries down. You know what I'm saying? Early. Yeah. And you might not even realize it in the beginning. For it to be done early, it may be something that you that develop over time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then, that's what I would say. Just self-confidence, have a voice for yourself, put your boundaries down. If it don't work and they ain't trying to wedge with you and they expect you to make other changes, go about your business. You won't have all that stress, anxiety, and all that other kind of stuff. If what you doing too much for them, move around.
Right. And
hold on, before you go, Cole, what you think about that? Because I said what I said, but that could be. Do you think that's irrational or do you think that's irrational?
Like what? Like the speaking, like the.
What I just said, everything. The last part I said.
Yeah, for sure. Like that wasn't necessarily where I was coming from, but that's a major part of. Like, some people get there and get locked up inside of, like, I want this person, or I'm gonna just say an example of a thing, a person, place, a thing. You want something so bad, and that thing, what was that? Caters to your status quo so much that you're not willing to disrupt that in fear of it being let go. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, like, I'm with this person and this person had the best that I had so far in terms of whatever, and I don't want to mess that up. Or I don't want to be confrontational at all, because I don't like arguing. I don't like whatever it is, and you as a result of that thing, you just up and there just existing. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff happen, you like, whatever. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That person like that, I don't want no conflict, so I ain't going whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's like not healthy, right? And you literally putting yourself and your feelings and your goals, your dreams, because it gets that high. It starts to get into goals and dreams. Like I don't want to take this job promotion because I know that's gonna make this person feel some type of way. I know I'm gonna be out working late if I do it, so I don't want to make this person feel some type of way. So I'm gonna just go ahead on and back out that all the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a death. Like, you're not living that way.
Yeah.
Right. And in a way I was saying was like, you got to be healthy to do what I was talking about with treating things, like using your environment to support you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like if the things that person is saying is actually something like a clean tip, like the example I used was, hey, I always leave the spoons on the thing, and she like, hey, why you always leaving the spoons on the thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's trifling, right? So if she's saying it, and I could use it to be cleaner, then I'm gonna use it. Now a lot of stuff goes into that, like the communication, like the way she's talking to me, like, hey, why you always do such and such? You really trifling. Somebody who, like, it should always be, and it's crazy. A lot of things go into this, right? And I ain't gonna get too deep with it. But a lot of situations, the perspective and the feeling and the quality of the situation changes with the quality of communication, right? Like it's not necessarily always the fact that she don't want the spoons on the counter, or she want the rug off the, but that's not necessarily a problem. It's the fact that she walk in and be like, what you like, you always like, you dirty, like you always want the spoon on the counter, the rug to the right. Like, I'm sick of all that. You know what I'm saying? And in that way she trying to control me. Like in that way she has expectations of me. But if she like, hey, you know what I'm saying, if you could put the spoons in the sink, that would be great, because I like to, it's nice to have the kitchen clean. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what, I need to be cleaner, right? Man. And then there's one more aspect of compromise. I love her, so I'm gonna put the spoons in the sink, right? And there's a difference between compromise and you bowing down because you're not able to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot that goes into that. Yeah,
I like that. I want to touch on your previous point if I could. Damn, what was it? Okay, it was the way that you communicate that makes the difference. So I heard an example once before where the lady was talking about, like, if you want to get your husband to do something, stop complaining about it. You know, like you've been asking him to clean the gutters for months. Right, you've been asking him to mow the grass, or you've been asking him to do whatever you want him to do, right? And instead of always complaining about it, because this was an actual conversation, but then instead of her recommendation was, instead of you complaining about it, actually compliment him and affirm him on the things that he does. You know what I'm saying? It's like positive reinforcement. It's like, hey, honey, I really appreciate you. You really do so much to really, like, keep the family thing together, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? So then he hear you when you was complaining about all that stuff that he wasn't doing. He heard you, but the way that you was coming at it, you made him tune you all the way out. But when you started giving him appreciation for the things he does. Like, thank you for protecting us. Thank you for making sure we always safe. Thank you for, working hard like you do to make sure that we have what we have in this household and adding the value that you add. Then when you do that on a regular basis, he gonna remember the thing that you told him to do. That'll inspire him to actually want to do the thing that you asked him to do. That he heard you say, and then now he probably be more in the headspace to do it. Or even when you suggest other things to him, he know you're not always nagging at him, but you actually appreciate him. And that's a different motivating factor. That's what I wanted to add to your point. And then your last point, what was your last point? I think that was something kind of interesting too. I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, my last point was like actually having something be a compromise for the happiness of one instead of the happiness of Damn, I thought I had something now.
No,
I was about to say the happiness
remember
of
the
one
compromise.
instead of a happiness of one. You know what I'm saying? Meaning the happiness of both of us instead of the happiness of just one of us. Right? The compromise, when you make a compromise, both people, I think, should be happy. Right? Like, I'm going to go do this thing so she could be happy. And in return, she's happy, now that I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. You know, instead of, like, that's how you know. That's how you know if you're, quote unquote, being controlled. Like, that person happy, but you're not happy. Or you're happy and that person is not happy. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy like that. Even the example you gave, man, like this thing is, there's something that is deeper than even control. I don't even think it's like control that we should be on. But the way we look at it as a culture is control. Like when you was like the cutting the grass, like she controlled herself by saying, hey, you good, like I appreciate when you do this. She controlled herself and then because of that control, like influence the way that he thought. So now he like, you know what, she like when I do good stuff, so I'm gonna go do some more good stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? That's
And
literally the idea.
Yeah. And you know, like in that aspect, I think we could add that to the list of healthy control. Like, you know, I'm gonna influence me. I'm gonna control me and my actions and do a little bit more extra or something on this side, so that I can whatever. Oh, I don't know, maybe not. Cause what if you're not getting what you wanted? Because you doing it because you want a certain result from another party instead of yourself. So you're doing it, and what if they don't do it, and now you're upset? So that could be a thing.
Expectation, that's because you kind of put an expectation on it.
Maybe you still, even when you're doing that, maybe you just have that as a plus and not have it as the overall thing. Like, I need the compliment, do it anyway. So I'm gonna do it anyway, and if that happens, it's a plus.
So now you're kind of looking at it from like the dude's perspective in that particular scenario, like doing it for the praise, for the positive reinforcement.
Yeah, no, like still a woman, like you know how she doing the praise now, but let's say for her praise, she wants the, you know what I'm saying, the grass to get cut. Right. But what if he keep that and he like it don't translate to him that the grass gonna get cut? Like, oh, I won't do the grass cut now. You know what I'm saying? I won't do more things that give me praise because I like to praise. Now you upset and you not doing it no more. So I guess a healthy thing would be to have it to where that is an extra. Him cutting the grass is an extra, but you doing it just because you want to have more good energy in your life. You know what I'm saying?
I think the key to that is actually meaning what you say. Like, cause if you just praising them to get him to do stuff, that's manipulation. Like, you bucking his head up. You know what I'm saying? To get him to go do stuff, but identify what you
lately.
Yeah, like but truly like appreciate that man or that woman for doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like I cause I don't think like we do that a lot enough, you know? Like, we don't single out, like, we'll tell you what you're doing wrong or what was pissing us off or what we don't like specifically. But how often do we tell you specific things? Like, we might say something vague, like, thank you for being you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for everything you do. But I do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't listen. I know you work 8 hours and 32 minutes a day. I appreciate you for working every single one of those hours today. You know, like let me know, like, get on my level with it to where I can feel what you know what I'm saying? But I think in that scenario, you know, if it's a woman appeasing a man, like express your gratitude and actually mean what you say, so that even if he don't do it, like, it ain't about that. Like what Coach said, like, do it because you truly just want to let him know that you're thankful for him. And when you ask him to do things in a mindful way, he may be more receptive to doing it because the way that you treat him, your energy change. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like you, my mama, nagging at me to do some. You know what I'm saying? Like that's probably why he don't do it in the first place, because you be setting him back. Like you remind him of his mama or something, so he just be block tuning you out. You know, but yeah, I would just say that's how you kind of work around that.
For sure, man. And in that way, like the next step of like in that way, you'd be doing something called letting go. You know, like you'd be like a lot of the best way, like the best way sometimes to get what you want is just to let it go. You know what I'm saying? And let go and let God, or you know, let go and work on you. And be the like one thing. One time, Toya told me, he was like, man, sometimes the best thing you can do is just be the example.
Yep.
Like that thing that you want, do it within you. Like that, like to her, like the grass cut might translate to something else to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, whatever it is that he might want you to do, right? You just doing the stuff now. Like you A+. So now you ain't got no choice to be A+. Or if he not being A+ over time, you like, hey, you know, I ain't gonna lie, like I like A+. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to do that. And you got an argument. Ain't nobody could be like, well, shoot, if you want A+ service, you gotta get A+ service. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times to combat whatever it is that's going on, you have to let go of everything else around you, right? And just focus on the thing. You know what I'm saying? To focus on you and your movements and the stuff that you can control. And I think we mess up. Naturally we mess up because that's how we built, bro. Like I'm built with my eyes looking out, and I can't turn them in. Like I can't, like it's the in the foundation of the makeup, I'm built looking outwards. So I literally, like all of my perceptions are that way, right? I would have to switch the perception by spending more time a day looking outwards than I look inwards. You know what I'm saying? And I
do actually.
The thing of like choosing to combat it with yourself and letting go of the outside, like everything's gonna be different, man. Like the stress is gonna be different. You know, your relationship will improve because whether you know it or not, you know, and I don't know how we got to talking about relationships, but I guess it's the best way, or that's really how me and you identify with control the most, I guess, right? You know what I'm saying? And so like I like the relationship will be improved, and you know, like you, cause you that's what I was gonna say. You taking the stress and the expectations off that person. You know, cause you could do that. Like if I have somebody and I always want them to do something, I'm like, hey, you know you ain't do it, right? You know you ain't do it. Like that creates more anxiety and pressure on the other person to where you may not even get what it is that you want.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not even just a person, that's life. Like you keep showing up to something that God don't want you to have yet, like you gonna make it worse.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you, and when you ready for it, God gonna present it to you. He gonna just open the door. Like
Boom.
he's just gonna open the door and you good after that. Like I know if I'm not getting something done, if I'm not there yet, if I'm keep knocking and ain't nobody answering, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
That bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Personally, that's one of the hardest things when I feel like I'm ready, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? What you about to say?
I was about to give an analogy. And this ain't gonna resonate with everybody, but everybody who I don't want to say game heads, but be on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And you ever play zombie mode?
Yeah.
They got this thing called the mystery box.
Yeah.
And so the thing about the mystery box and how it work is you get to hit the mystery box and then like, you know, a random gun will pop up and you can retrieve that gun if you want that gun selection. But the mystery box not just there. It's a whole bunch of stuff you got to do before you can even activate the mystery box. Like you got to go fight through this, open up this door, hit this floor, turn on the power, do this and do that. and then you gotta go hit the mystery box, and then sometimes the mystery box move around. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you know where the next location of the mystery box gonna be at, but it ain't activate yet. So to what Cole's saying is like a lot of us looking for that mystery box, and we might know where the mystery box at, but it ain't time for us to hit the mystery box yet. You know what I'm saying? It ain't time for us to open that door yet and retrieve what it is that we want, because we probably missed some steps. We probably ain't turned the power on yet to where we ready to go, or we have done what we needed to do foundationally to prepare ourselves for that moment, or for that level that we trying to obtain. You know what I'm saying? But I like that concept that you gave of letting go. You know what I'm saying? Because I think one of the most important things that one need to let go is their selfish desires. Of let go of when it comes down to this whole idea of controlling, what to control, what not to control, and anything that's outside of you, let it go. Within reason, and this can vary based on the situation and circumstance, but just in general, just focus on you. Let go of feeling like you need to control everything around you, or you need to have your hand on everything that's around you. And sometimes and I'm learning this from parents, and sometimes when you control and micromanage your children, you deprive them of those precious moments that they need to bump their head to learn in that experience, learn from that experience, so they can grow. If you pacify them and you baby them through life, they're not gonna be built for nothing for real, because you stopped all the falls. You know what I'm saying? You was with them every step of the way. So sometimes we can do that in life. We can do that in relationships and different things. So sometimes I see stuff going bad and I just don't say nothing. I just let it happen. You have to learn. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn so you can grow. You know what I'm saying? So I like to look at letting go in that perspective as well. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty reasonable to consider.
Yeah, man. I think to conclude this thing, man, like, when you want something differently, think about what you can do to make it happen, and not what they can do to make it happen. Think about how you can study more instead of how this can be a better system for you to succeed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the essence of you not being ready. Sometimes it takes time and experience.
Yep.
Sometimes it's the time and not the knowledge. Sometimes it's the experience and not the knowledge. Like, you can know and even perform well when the thing comes, right? Like, be open to whatever you have to do, whatever you have to do to make it right. Like that, and that's big dog status, right? A lot of us, we want say so over certain things, but we ain't willing to take responsibility.
Yeah.
And responsibility is like you say, you want control, but you don't really want control. You know what I'm saying? Like and really, responsibility is you performing so much so to where this thing is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? It's not really you making sure it turn left. Is you doing what you need to do to make it turn left. It's like who do you need to become so where it makes it happen every time, instead of what you need to do. Because sometimes we get lost in that. We get lost in the just controlling the actions, but we know how the brain work. It's conscious and subconscious. We ain't gonna always be in the conscious all the time. Like, our conscious changes. So how can I make sure that I'm that person regardless? And, because we'll listen to this, like you listen to this podcast and you'll be like, hey, man, I got to do this, and do that. Right? How do I make sure I'm the person that do this, and do that every time?
Yeah.
Try to control that. And,
yeah.
And in the end, you'll be better off. Even your environment will be better off. The people around you will be better off. But don't expect nothing from them. Everything should be extra. Everything should be extra. Like, oh man, they showed up today. That's extra. I only expected me to show up. Straight up. I only expected me to show up. The success is of the things that I've done to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if people don't show up, okay, I'm gonna like play your part, and the better you play your part, the world is gonna respond to that.
Yeah.
So it's like getting what you want from the world by focusing on yourself. It's like it's a what do they call that? Paradox or whatever it is. That
something
they
like
call
that.
thing. Yeah, man. Like it's we definitely had a whole lot of points that we could have discussed, and we probably talk about this at another time, man, because this is a big thing.
Yeah, it's pretty fundamental.
Yeah.
A lot of different things that we was talking about was fundamental, and even just this concept of control. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come up again in later conversations. I'm more than sure. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just a part of our everyday life. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that was I think this was a phenomenal conversation. You know, with this, I was able to speak from experience. I was able to speak from just my general wisdom, things that I've researched, things that I've encountered, things that I have, was I don't want to say exposed to, but just watching and listening and learning and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I think I hope that this conversation was a deep enough conversation to where it was of substance, to where people was actually able to learn something and grow in this moment. I hope that you heard something today that you haven't heard before, and that was able to share some light on the situation you may be in, something that you may be dealing with. But I just hope that this conversation served and it connect with somebody, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. But without further ado, take us out the game.
Thank you. Thank each and every single one of y'all for being the best part of Free Will Podcast. We are highly appreciated. We are abundantly appreciative. And thank you for being in attendance. Thank you for being attentive. And thank you for being the best part of the Free Will Podcast. Thank you and welcome to everybody who is joining and listening with us for the first time. And we appreciate y'all. We don't take it for granted. Hit the subscribe button to let us know that you want to be a part of the family in this community, in this atmosphere that we are creating together. Each and every one of y'all make the atmosphere, y'all. Make it what it is. And together we're going to grow together and we're going to become the best versions of ourselves each and every single day, each and every single week. Without further ado, you already know what it is, so you ain't got to ask what it was. Thank you for joining us for another Free Will Podcast. Meet us next Friday, 8:30 Central Time. Don't just meet us there. Beat us there. Dig. See y'all next week on the Free Will Podcast. Boom.